Hello, welcome to the Caz and Daz show. My name is Daz, and I got that right for a change. Now, we were hoped to be joined by the living legend, FocusHoops, his own WNBL D1 Coach of the Year, Mark Anton Morris. Unfortunately, his computer has thrown a bit of a wobbler at him, so we'll see. If you're seeing this, Michael, you're always welcome. We'll also do, as always, WNBL, WBBL, and Rincon Caz. Caz's Corner. Caz is going to take us all around the world. And Caz has been on a bit of a madness this week, trying to find some particularly interesting stats. She's either lost the plot or is just really diligent in her research. I will let you decide which of those is the case. Caz, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I mean, that could go either way. You know, I think I'm teetering on an edge somewhere. We've had some sad news in the WNBL in Australia. For me, nothing groundbreaking. But
shall we just dive into that? Sorry? Shall we dive into early journey to Caz's Corner?
Yeah, should we do that?
Let's do it. Let's flip it on its head.
Okay, so WNBL Australia. We're into the playoffs, semi-finals, finals. We've got two group games to start with. So we have Southside, Liz Cambage's Southside, playing against the Townsville Flames, which is Shayla Heal. And then we have UC Capitals playing against Melbourne Boomers, which is UC Capitals. We've got the great Britt Smart, Kelsey Griffin, Maddie Rochi, against Ezzy Mabega, which may or may not be the right way to say it.
Go with Mabega, or are you going to go with Magbayor?
Yes. I'll check with her, see what she prefers.
Oh, just check in with her.
Yeah. So
if you do, get her on there. Get her on the show.
Yeah. So the way the series works is whoever the top 4 teams go through. The top 2 teams play each other. The winner of that game goes straight to the finals. The loser of that plays the winner of the other 2 games. So we had UC Capitals playing Melbourne. Unfortunately for me and the UC Capitals, they lost. Melbourne go through. It was a pretty close game, and Britt Smart had one of her best games of the season. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it to the finals to get that three-peat that they were going for. But Ezzy Mabega, 20 points, 11 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 blocks. You know, they were just they're a tough team in Melbourne, so they will go into the game against. Sorry, let me rewind. Southside were playing Townsville. Southside, Liz Cambage, 31 points, 16 rebounds, and she was fouled 9 times. Southside go through. So Southside is straight through to the final, and Townsville are going to play Melbourne tomorrow morning, our time, and the winner of that goes into the final on Sunday morning to play Southside. So awesome. I think it's gonna be good, and this year it's just a 1-game series. It's not best of 3 anymore because of the restrictions around COVID. They're trying to run the season a bit shorter. It's been 6 weeks, and they've managed to cram in all the games. Been really successful, and it'll be a really good game to watch, regardless of which team gets to the final against Southside. So I'd encourage everyone to watch that. It's been a great league. It's been a really fun season to watch, and the UC Capitals team in particular. Obviously, I adopted them at the start of the season. They've been really, really fun to watch. Their ball movement, just the way they work together. They've had some really good games, and you can catch all the games on YouTube, on the Wpbl YouTube channel. So, go back and watch a few of them. Look out for Britt Smart and Jade Melbourne, the 18-year-old that's going to blossom in years to come.
I've been really impressed. It's been my first season properly following the WNBL. And,
Me too.
Being able to regularly watch games on the YouTube and English language commentary, and a really nice time of day to watch basketball.
Yeah.
8 o'clock in the morning. It's been really fantastic. So, yeah, highly recommend. If you want to see some really high quality women's basketball, go and check it out. Also, if you want links to all manner of League of Women's Basketball, get yourself over to the FocusHoops website, where we have, and it's still probably the top story, or the top link rather, is our link to leagues all across Europe, free, pay, all that good stuff. Check it out. Who have you got to win the whole thing, Caz?
Southside. I just think Liz Cambage and Lalani Mitchell are playing amazingly. Cambage is just Yeah, so long as she's not in foul trouble, which we know that that's a problem with the way she plays. Sometimes maybe it's just the way she's officiated. They're just
let's not make excuses. Let's just not do that. Like
there was a couple of plays in the last game of the season where they played UC Capitals, and she just absolutely bodied poor Jade Melbourne twice. Now Jade Melbourne, all credit to her for driving the lane and looking at Liz Cambage and going, "Yeah, I'll go for that layup," and just getting laid flat out.
Was that one of the ones where she just destroyed her and blocked it, and then just strutting around like she's Vince McMahon?
Yes, yeah, there was one at each end. But like Liz Cambage, she's great to watch, though, isn't she? Like you can't not enjoy watching Liz Cambage play.
It's difficult. It's difficult to be done.
If you're playing against her, I'm sure you hate it.
Some miserable bugger out there will dislike watching her play, but she's quality. Awesome. Any more from Caz Corner?
I was just going to say, and Cambage and Southside. So Southside haven't won, I think, for 9 years, and Cambage hasn't got a WNBL championship. So that will be a good thing for her basketball legacy in general, and Australian basketball if they do come away with that win.
She's also not got a WNBA championship either.
That's true, but I feel like she's got time. She's got time for everything.
Oh, she's got time for everything.
Yeah. When she joins the Sparks next season, it's all good.
She's 29. Or is she 27?
Yeah. 29.
29?
Say.
She got time.
Yeah.
Cool. What else is going on in Caz Corner?
Nafisa Collier has joined LFB in France. So she'll be playing with them, and that is the team that Maisha Hines-Allen, Julie Ollerman, and Cheyenne Parker is on. So that is going to be exciting. I don't know how that works because they've got 3 US players, but they obviously have different limits in different leagues. Yeah. I don't believe they're in Eurocup or EuroLeague, so you'll only be able to watch those in the French domestic league. Their next game's on January the 9th, I think.
That's interesting that they're not playing high-level Europe, but I mean, the French league's high level, but they're not playing continental competition. Yeah. But they've still got this loaded roster.
Yeah. I mean, I did have a check this morning, but the team name sometimes seems to come up 4 different ways sometimes. So I may have missed it in Eurocup. They're definitely not in EuroLeague, and I don't think they are in Eurocup. But that'll be a good team to watch. And there's not been too much going on this week. Galatasaray and Sopron Basket were playing for in the EuroLeague. There was just 2 games this week. Galatasaray lost the first one by 2 points, and I think the other one's on. It might have just finished earlier today, so I've not caught the score on that one.
Galatasaray Sopron.
Yes.
58-70 in favour of Sopron.
Ah, okay.
A monster second period where they finished. Sopron won it 24-13, and it was pretty even the rest of the way.
Right. I have to say I'm surprised at that. I thought Galatasaray were maybe going to take those ones. Well, I haven't watched Sopron as much. I think Sopron are from Hungary.
There you go. They got run up and done up. Their next round of fixtures, I think that's all of the games done for this round. They'll be back 19th of January for the second regular season hub. Then we go to the quarterfinals on the 14th of March, and 16th of April will be the final 4. So get hyped for those. I don't love the format. I prefer, a long drawn out European season. However, given the circumstances, fantastic. Given the circumstances, it's been run really, really well. I think it's really clever, and I really like it. And I'm thinking about how we run things over here. I think about how Champions League gets run. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So I like it. Sorry, that was the Football Champions League. Apologies. Cool. What else you got?
Can I give you a stat line of the week?
Stat line of the week. I listened to too much Car Throttle podcast. Carry on.
Okay, number 1. Liz Cambage. I think she's probably in stat line of the week every week. 31 points, 18 rebounds, 68% shooting, fouled 9 times. in a win.
Okay.
These are all in a win. Okay. Collier Charles, who was Connecticut Sun's rookie this year in the WNBA, 32 points, 16 rebounds, 10 offensive rebounds, 64% shooting in a win in Israel, where she's playing.
Okay.
And I went out a bit further this week. I explored a bit more. So Kiera Robinson.
You actually kept it way closer to home. You realise that, don't you? This is a 2-hour flight you've given me. I don't know the stat. I do know the location.
Kiera Robinson in the Icelandic League, playing for, now I don't know if I'm going to get this right, Skallagrimur. Sounds Icelandic.
That sounds Icelandic.
In a win, 35 points, 16 rebounds, 2 assists in 38 minutes, 0 turnovers, and she's a point guard.
She's not a pass-first point guard, it sounds like. Do we have a shooting percentage?
No, I'll make one up. 50%. 60.
60. Oh,
60.
now
60
you're talking.
Seems right.
As much as I want to go for the point guard, I'm going to have to go Cam Beige on this one because. So she did that in the Townsville game. No, not Townsville.
The Townsville game. Yeah.
So, huge game, huge moment, and the best player in the country, came up huge. So you got to respect that. You love to see it. So Cam Beige with the stat line of the week.
And I'm just impressed at how many times she gets fouled. It's ridiculous. And she's making her free throws. It's not like you're fouling Shaq.
Yeah. Who's the female Shaq? Do we have a female Shaq? That's a Michael Hunter Morris question, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Michael, if you're watching, find out who the female Shaq is, please. Cool. Any more from Kaz Corner?
No, just watch the WNBL Australia finals on Friday. Well, semi-finals Friday, finals Sunday.
Excellent. 2 times where I can't watch the games live.
Well, the one on Sunday is at 4 o'clock in the morning our time, so I won't be watching that live.
No, I'll. Wait a minute. Sunday. Oh, I'm not commentating Sunday. I'm commentating Monday night. London Lions. Check it out. Yeah, I can watch it. Right, cool. Shall we, as we're going in reverse, you were in Manchester.
I was.
As you are wont to be. Talk to us. You had to change court.
So, Saturday, Manchester Mystics, Newcastle Eagles, ready for the first game of the league, first game of the season. That's not a cup game. I never know what to call it. That league championship. I go with league.
Championship. They call it it's the WBBL championship.
It does, but it doesn't flow for me. I'll work on it. It's my issue. I'll work on it. So me and Adam Masters from Brand 161 were at Bellevue down at the National Basketball Performance Centre because we were commentating on the live stream. Teams are ready to go. Everything's set up. Everyone's warming up, and all of a sudden there's a leak about 3 inches away from the court. So we had a quick rush about 15 minutes before tip-off to move everything onto one of the second courts at Bellevue. And I think there was a slight delay in getting started. But that did not affect the Manchester Mystics in any way at all. It did not. So this game, so Manchester and Newcastle had played each other a couple of weeks ago in the Cup. Newcastle won that by 10. It was a good game for Manchester. They were down 17 and they managed to chip away at that lead, came back and tied in the third, didn't kind of carry it on in the fourth. And that kind of run is what we've been sort of saying we want to see from Manchester. We know they've got it in them. They just need to put it together for a full 4 quarters. And this was the game where they put it together for 4 quarters. So they came out the gate really strong. Manchester built up a 17-point lead and went into half-time up 46-42. And then in the second half, Manchester just took over. They held Newcastle to 14 points in the second half. And the defence that they were playing was just phenomenal. It was stifling. Newcastle, they've got obviously Lisa Coop down playing centre, 6'6", and she was matched up against Dominique Allen and Hannah Shaw. Oh. Hannah Shaw's jersey's missing.
Yes, unfortunately. We've stuck with Fair Ball Convention. Big shout to my father-in-law and my wife, who both enjoyed the fair play.
Oh, good. So yeah, that was the big matchup, and Dominique Allen and Hannah Shaw did a great job just sort of keeping Lisa Coop from getting those easy baskets that she can. She had finished the game with 7 points, and Newcastle just couldn't kind of get past Manchester there. Georgia Jones had a great game, 20 points, 6 rebounds and 5 assists. She got the Bondi Bowls and Brand 161 Player of the Game award that's been given out every week. And it was really good to see Manchester play the way people, me especially, has thought they could do. And they just haven't quite clicked yet. And talking to Georgia after the game, she was sort of saying, it's really good because they knew they could do it and they've done it. They were doing it in practice, they were putting it together. It just hadn't kind of clicked in the game. And I think having Dominique Allen back, they had Maya Bratka back as well. That takes a little bit of the pressure off Hannah Shaw, allows her to come out and not have to play like huge minutes. And everyone was just, playing great, healthy. And it was really good to see. Everyone got on the score sheet. Rosie Hines, that they signed last week, came on straight away, scored a layup. And Rhiannon Bailey had 11 points in 15 minutes and then smacked her head and didn't come back on, but she was okay. But she had a very, very bad head collision. I think she wanted to come back on.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that she didn't come back on after, wanting to. So I'm glad that she felt that she was able to, and I'm glad that a sensible person said, no, it's not happening.
Yeah, it's safe. It's important to be safe, isn't it? Especially with things like that. But she was having a great game until that point. And it was just great to see Newcastle as well. They were the scoreline in the first half. They had some really good. They've got some great players. Alison Gurrell, Maddie McVicker. They were quite short-handed. I think they'd only got 8 players, and they had a couple of players get into foul trouble. In the third quarter on three or 4 fouls, so that didn't help them. And they were playing the first of a back-to-back because they were playing on Sunday as well, so they were probably a little bit on the back foot. But it was just it was a great game to see, and it was really good to see Manchester kind of do what we expect them to do. Yeah, as well.
And absolutely, like the roster they've put together, we're expecting them to be extremely competitive this year. Chester Donnelly coming in with the questions, all the comments rather. National Basketball Performance Centre, it looks amazing. I've never been, but it looks so good on TV. We've both commentated there. I did Finals Day 2019 NBL and WNBL Finals, and it is great. It's a amazing. Really fantastic venue. And when there's, I hate saying this, okay, so excuse me, but when there are fans in there, it can be a really, really great atmosphere in there. Just want to see that place packed out.
Yeah.
Down the journey when it's safe to do so. Actually, when you guys go to tier 2 in the hopefully near future, you'll have fans in there, right?
Is it? Are we okay with 2 or is it 1?
Yeah, tier 2 you'll have fans.
Oh, cool. Okay. That didn't happen today. I think we were sort of expecting that might happen today, but it didn't. We're still in tier 3 up here.
Oh. That's unfortunate.
But yeah, it will be great. It will be great. And when GB have played there, and when the Mystics and Giants have played there, the crowds are going to be great.
Thank you, as always, Chester, for getting involved. I see you pop up on other British basketball content, always part of the conversation, and that's awesome. We'd love to see that. Are there any other WBBL news for us, Caz?
Chelsea Shumpert and Jasmine Joyner are fantastic as a duo.
That's not news.
It's not breaking news, is it?
It's not breaking news, but yeah.
So they played Nottingham, played Cardiff at the weekend, and won 65-46. Chelsea Shumpert had 15 points, 4 rebounds and 3 assists, and Jasmine Joyner 17 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists and 2 steals, in quite a dominant win over Cardiff. Nottingham, I think it is Nottingham and Leicester next Saturday, which is probably my pick of games of the week to watch. We've got Nottingham and Leicester Cardiff and Manchester, and London and Newcastle.
Yeah, I'm with you with that as being the game of the week. That could be a really, really close matchup. Wildcats they're looking like the Wildcats. They're looking like the Wildcats.
Yeah.
Which is great to see. I think WBBL looks really quite solid this year.
It does.
Really competitive. Cardiff has struggled, but they're in a very different situation to most every other team in the league. So. Yeah.
And that's something that, this season we're going to have issues and things like that, aren't we? It's completely unprecedented, and we just sort of have to go along and see what happens.
Adam Masters of Brand 161 and the Below the Rim podcast, and of course, friend of Focus Hoops, says WBBL Team of the Week is so sick. Love to see it for real. 2 for Dom now on starting 5. It turns out, Kaz, people take this Team of the Week business quite serious, eh?
They do, don't they? Yeah, it causes a bit of controversy sometimes.
It's always good to have conversation be about women's basketball.
It is. So we had Georgia Jones and Dominique Allen in the WBBL Team of the Week, which is great to see.
Any more WBBL chat, Kaz, for this week?
So we have the games next weekend, and then we have the Christmas break until January the 3rd. So 2 weeks without basketball, 2 weeks without any WBBL.
So what that will allow us to do is that's going to allow us to kick off our fantasy women's basketball league. So if you like fantasy basketball, you want to get involved in fantasy women's basketball, we've got a Discord set up. We've now got the rosters for everybody except for Durham. When we get Durham, it's probably going to be after the draft, so they'll be sign and drop as soon as they are on board. Big shout out to our man, big part of Focus Hoops, Greg and Pofu, also of Manchester. It's almost like there's some sort of connection there. So yeah, he's been doing a lot of groundwork on this. So we're gonna do the draft before Christmas. That is the plan, hopefully. So draft is coming up. If you want to get involved, we've got the Discord channel. We'll start to link that. We'll get that all on social media, and we might even do the draft live on YouTube or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll try and judge it up a bit. So check that out. It should be a lot of fun. We're not going to do weekend fantasy. It's just going to be you pick a team and we accrue points. We'll have the main man, Greg, on. I sound a bit like Pablo there, don't I? The main man. We'll have Greg on to talk things over fully with that, and maybe a little fantasy special. Maybe even give us a little. We need more content on Focus Hoops. I love how we just have these spitball sessions live on the podcast.
See behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. This is how the magic happens. People are switching up. Greg, do you reckon Greg wants his own fantasy basketball show?
Yes. He does. He's not busy enough. He needs more to do.
He needs more to do. He's only director of basketball operations. It's fine. Cool. Any more, Kaz?
The last game was Sevenoaks v Newcastle, 75-47 to Sevenoaks. Kat Carr, 22 points, 8 assists, index of 29. Newcastle, like we said, bit short-handed, played the game against Manchester, lots of travelling. Sevenoaks are looking as strong as they always do.
T. Clark also had a bit of a day, am I right?
Yes, 14 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists and 3 steals.
She's had herself a day.
She did.
Friend of Focus Hoops, I suppose. Anyway, Catherine Hill, who we've had on the show and we'll have on the Caz and Daz show coming up, she rates T as, I think, the best player she's ever played with. So if it's good enough for Kat, it's good enough for us. She's certainly one of their time up, and I think it was in Northumbria. They played together.
Right.
All right. Kaz, are we going to move to WNBL?
Yeah.
Well, as we're doing things backwards, we're going to take a quick break, and then Kaz is going to come back with this week's Charity of the Week, if that's all right with you.
Yes.
Bringing things on, Kaz. We'll be right back.
Word from our sponsors, Notch, the mark of achievement, and we are very glad to have them on board with Focus Hoops this year. They make fantastic bracelets that look super stylish, and really help you celebrate your sporting achievement. They've just launched a basketball collection and we're really excited to be on board with them. Let's imagine that you're a player. Let's say that you're Courtney Vandersloot. You got 18 assists in a single ball game and you want a notch and a bracelet to commemorate that fact. Well, you can do just that. Customize it to your team colors, put the year that you achieved it, and get it the exact size that you need. There are a number of the colors available. Or maybe you're a coach. Maybe you're the coach of a basketball team. Let's just say that you're the London Tyrannosaurus Rex. Your team wears red. You had the league's most valuable player, the MVP, and you want to celebrate that. You want to award them with a great looking notch bracelet. Well, you can do just that. And you can get it saying MVP on the notch itself. That's the charm. You can get the colour you want. Gold is one that I go for if we're commemorating the best player in the league. We could even get the team logo, if it's the Tyrannosaurus Rex, let's say, on there. And present it in a beautiful presentation case. Huge thanks for Notch for coming on board Focus Hoops.
Oh.
Boom.
So this week's charity of the week is the Manchester South Central Food Bank. So the Manchester Mystics are doing a fundraiser. They're trying to raise money for South Central. They're a food bank that support communities in Old Trafford, Whalley Range, Moss Side and Hume. And they're communities that generally frequently attend Mystics programs, community programs, work with a lot of the youth teams. There's 1,000 young people that they support. And that demand for people using food banks has risen dramatically due to the COVID situation. You know, people are struggling financially. Jobs have been, people are losing jobs, and the South Central Food Bank do a lot of good work in supporting families that need that extra support, especially coming up to Christmas, with it being a difficult time of the year for people. So if anyone would like to donate, we will post the link down below and we'll tweet it out, or you can go on the Manchester South Central Food Bank, and there will be links to donate there.
Seamless. We've got links in our description for the Manchester South Central Food Bank. It's a really difficult time for people right now. So again, if you have any spare change and you can chuck it that way, that would be obviously really appreciated by them. If not, a share on social media. It's free. It costs you a second. So if it's something that you think you could do, please get involved. Team of the week. Let's go to the WNBL team of the week. And it caused a little bit of controversy. I think it's fair to say. However, as always, the discussion was long, and we stand by our decision.
And hey,
Like stone.
It's better to have. No, I was just going to say, as you know, I'm echoing Greg here. It's better to have people talking about women's basketball, isn't it? The alternative is people don't care and people aren't interested. Let's start a debate,
Quite right indeed. McKenna Stone was the player of the week here. 20 points, 21 rebounds, 43%, 30 efficiency in the victory over Ipswich. And now I'm going to say that it couldn't have been anybody else. However, if that result doesn't go the way of Leicester, we do have to find a different player of the week. So it would have almost certainly been one of the Ipswich players. But my God, what a game. What an absolute classic of a game. Fantastically commentated by Christina Gaskin as well, by the way. She was getting loads of love in the comments, and rightly so. She's doing an awesome job. Loughborough have been doing a smashing job this year, just in all aspects. And the aspect that we care about the most, I think, well, at least I care about the most, is their WNBL. They are really starting to click this team, and it could be a bad time for a lot of teams. They've just knocked off the reigning champions, unbeaten since Lord knows when. Genuinely, I was trying to find this out the other day, but the National League website wasn't quite playing ball. That is huge. And, to win it by a point at the end, it was her. She had Esther Little guarding her. Esther's practically in her jumper, to use Aussie rulesism, I think. And she got the separation she needed, banks it in, clutch. Absolutely clutch. She is awesome. She played awesome. Loughborough, awesome. Awesome. That was a great game. If you've not seen it, go and watch it. If you don't have the time to dedicate to all of it, watch the last quarter definitely. Okay, there were some hellacious performances in that game. Let's talk about Neville. Let's talk about Robin Ainge as we bring up the team of the week. Apologies, it's not cropped the best, but Robin Ainge, she was so important for Loughborough in the win. She did just a little bit of everything. She had 16 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 6 steals, finished with an efficiency of 20, and just ran the show for the Riders. She shot well, she drove, she combined really well with Stone and Katie Januszkowska, and I'm sorry again if I've said KJ's name incorrectly there. I do apologize, but my God, is she a talent as well? KJ, I'm going to respectfully call her KJ from now on. She was an honourable this week. She was pretty close to making it onto the first teamers. My goodness, she wasn't even an honourable, in fact. But KJ did get a mention. She was awesome down the stretch. She's a really tricky guard as well, or at least has tricky handles. Christina Velke for Team Silent Kestrels, 13 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, a plus 31 and a 15 efficiency in their victory over Worcester. And again, just another chips are down, gritty, and I mean that as a compliment, performance from Velke. They were playing an understrength Worcester, but a big bounce back victory after a really tough weekend for them last time out. And just, again, as always, spotlight. It was the nationally televised game, and she came to play in a big way. Amber Dean, again, not on the winning side of things, but a hell of a performance. 23 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 50% field goal, 24 efficiency. She was fouled 7 times, 6 of 8 from the line. And those are things that we really value at Focus Hoops. We value defense, we value overall contribution, and we value your efficiency. And I mean, don't mean like the raw efficiency score. I mean, what's your shooting percentage? What's your free throw percentage? Those kind of things. Generating opportunities and making them pay. And lastly, I mean, what more can we say about Esther Little? Double-double, 15 points, 14 rebounds, 9 assists. So she's an assist away from a triple-double. Her and Susanna Rafu really started to link together that fourth quarter. Again, watch that fourth quarter just to watch Rafu alone if you must, because she was excellent. And why was she excellent? In part, it was because of that link up with Little. And when you've got those two on the floor, you got Wellham on the floor, you've got Coco Leung on the floor, that is tough. But Leicester dealt with it, and they dealt with it really impressively. So that's the team of the week for this week. The honourable mentions: Alicia Jackson from from Teesside, not Teesside, from Team Silent Kestrels, sorry. Harriet Wellham from Ipswich, again, always a tough omission because she just balls out. Molly James from Loughborough, a lot of people were actually calling her the MVP of that game. Noah Sanchez Marquez from ARU, just a super efficient game from her. And Susanna Rafu, again, she was different gravy down the journey. Excellent on her way to 15 and 9, 71% from the field. Plus 11 in a loss. Awesome.
It's nice.
And, we had other names like on the not very much longer list, like Shanice Turner. Sorry, not Turner. What am I saying? Shanice Taylor.
Yeah, Turner.
I was right. I apologize. It's been a very long week. Just got a dog. She missed out by a whisker. If I was allowed 6, she'd definitely be in there. Just missed out. But a super solid performance from her all weekend in what was a good win and then a really tough loss on the road. It's unfortunate, but some players have to miss out. Just very quick little recap of games. Obviously, we've spoken about it. Loughborough 77-76 win over Ipswich. Just go and watch it. Do yourself a favour. Go watch it. Even if you only watch the last 10 minutes, it was amazing. It was two teams, and I think they played pretty much at their best, especially in that closing period where it was clutch basket after clutch basket after clutch basket. There was a really silly unsportsmanlike, or I don't know if silly is the word, unfortunate maybe, unsportsmanlike conceded by Loughborough that nearly cost them the game. And then Ainge just goes up the other end and just drains a triple. Rafiu cancelled that out, but it was keeping them in the game. And it was performances like that from Ainge that kept her in Team of the Week. The other game, we have a victory for the Bristol Academy Flyers over time. They've trained, twice in 45 days, Caz?
Yeah.
Outrageous. They got the win, 65-63 over Nottingham Trent University on what may well have been Vicky Gray's last game for that club, at least for the time being. And
can I just jump in? Sorry, that game. So that Bristol won. They won it in overtime, and Flo Ward hit a big 3 to tie the game. Now that's great. That's impressive. Flo Ward was 0 of 7 at that, 0 of 6 and 3s at that point, and the confidence there as well. I love that. I love that she's no, fine. I'm going to take this and I'm going to make it. And what a great shot it was as well.
I mean, that's Flo Ward in a nutshell, really. She's a huge addition to this club coming back, so that's good to see. Worcester Wolves with a comfortable 8-point win over Cardiff Met Archers, 69-61. I think they got a bit banged up in that game, and they have a couple of injuries. Sunday, Anglia Ruskin went on the road to Nottingham Trent University, and they lost. They won 57-72. I'm reading things in the wrong order. Apologies. LU beat NTU 72-57 with Autumn Callis top scoring with 19 points. Maddie Vidette had herself a bit of a day as well. She got 14. No attention to Marquez, obviously an honourable mention, and Jasmine July got 16. Decker and Campbell got 10, and Burberry had 7. And the final game was Team Silent Kestrels 70, Worcester Wolves 44 on the national televised game, the NBL live game. Emma Bautista was an honourable mention from a couple of people. She had 14 points for Worcester, and a lot of people were really impressed with her performance. And Faye and Dean, kid's a superstar. Kid is a superstar. We have some postponements this week. Barking Abbey, Anglia Ruskin, postponed. Thames Valley, Team Silent Kestrel, postponed. We should have Cardiff Met Bristol on Saturday at 1 o'clock. Derby? We call that a derby, don't we? They're like an hour apart. And Nottingham Trent Loughborough at 2 o'clock at the Lee Westwood Sports Centre. So could be a good game. Could be an interesting game. Nottingham Trent desperately need a victory. So interesting to see. And Sunday's game also postponed. It was supposed to be Kohler versus Bristol, but Kohler appeared to also be shut down for the time being. And then that's going to be the WNBL on a break as well after this weekend until I think it's the first weekend in January. But no, sorry. Are they back on the 6th?
I think it's
crack out the calendar. I think they're back on the 9th of January. I think we will confirm that. Is the Caz and Daz show gonna take a break over the Crimbo period? We'll let you know. We'll let you know. What if I change it up? We'll have a Christmas quiz.
Ooh.
This is what we think about when we cycle into it.
Have we got a table list to show on the screen?
A table. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Caz, Phil.
It just throws me. This does. If I carried on talking, it'd be fine. WNBA free agency starts in February as well, so that is something to get excited about. There's going to be some trades, some sign-ins, exciting stuff.
Do you know what? Let's talk about that tweet. Let's talk about that tweet.
The controversy.
There is no controversy
that could end the Caz and Daz partnership.
This partnership will never end. I don't need to bring that negativity into things. All right, Caz, talk to us. What are we saying?
Okay, so we have got Ipswich with 6 wins and that 1 loss that they had on Saturday to Loughborough. Worcester second with 5 and 2. Solent Kestrels 4 and 4, and Loughborough at 4 and 2. And then kind of at the bottom of the table, we've got London 0 and 4, Thames Valley 0 and 2, Cardiff 0 and 2, ARU, Nottingham, Collier, Reading, and Bristol in the middle there. So what I think the thing that kind of jumps out as well, and we were talking about this in the group chat, weren't we? How many more games some teams have played against others. You know, Thames Valley and Cardiff on 2, Worcester on 7, Solent on 8. So there's going to be, going into the new year, there's going to be a lot of teams with back-to-backs.
I know Anglia Ruskin, how, you know, they have been preparing themselves for playing a fair few back-to-backs, and that is only going to increase as you know, games don't get played. It's unfortunate. It's kind of the way it is. We will just have to see how it all pans out. I'm just pulling up this tweet, the controversial tweet, and it is controversial. Caz is absolutely right, but not necessarily for the reasons that she thinks. There we go. Cool. So, and if as always, we really appreciate you guys checking it out. Caz, we did a great interview the other day.
We did, with Paul Cantwell, who is the director of basketball and the coach for the Women's Elite Academy Basketball League Manchester Mystics team. And he was talking to us about his basketball journey, playing professionally, playing in France, some insane stories about his time in an academy in France playing, his time coaching at academies in America, and about the pathway that the Mystics youth teams and the Manchester basketball area have got set up. So that was very interesting to hear from him. He's got some really good insights on, you know, advice that he gives to young players. He's been through it himself, so he's, you know, he knows what's going on. So we'll be putting that out later this week. Early next week? It'll be
early next week. It is a hefty boy that I did, let me tell you. But really great value, great quality, absolutely fantastic having Paul on. And we will definitely have him back again.
Yeah.
Awesome. You're gonna love it. You're gonna absolutely love it. Right, here's the tweet.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go on. No,
his under-18s Mystics team had a preseason game on Sunday against Derby, and they won. So they've gone 4-0 in the preseason, and he's very excited about what they're going to do this year.
There you go.
Future senior Mystics.
The Manchester basketball royalty over here will keep you informed. Right, let's go with the drama.
Okay.
Now, here's my problem.
My problem is
here's my problem. Let me tell you. Let me speak to you, Caz Bullock. That's not even your name. I've done that again. Don't worry about it. What kind of animal? What kind of foul beast doesn't use nighttime mode on Twitter? What is wrong with you? What is that? Show love to your retinas. They don't need to be blinded by all this. Rude. On to the serious business, obviously. So the global sports radio, women's sports radio rather, most likely to get traded or signed with the new teams, a free agent this offseason: Liz Cambage, Brittany Griner, Kayla McBride, or Candice Parker. On Focus Hoops thinks Parker.
And this is wrong. This is
because I had control of their account at that point.
I mean, I nearly unfollowed it. I don't know what would have happened tonight.
So, talk to me.
For me,
You don't think it's Parker?
I don't think it's Parker, and I think it's a fair question to ask of all four of them. But I think by far the one that is not leaving is Candace Parker. Candace Parker is LA. She is staying in LA, and she's going to win a championship. She's working. She's doing her sports media stuff in LA. She's LA. She's not going anywhere. If anyone's going anywhere, maybe some of the coaching staff might go somewhere, but Candace Parker isn't going anywhere. And
so if it comes, so you're saying that Candace Parker stays, Derek Fisher goes.
Yeah, if it's a choice between Candace Parker and Derek Fisher, there is no way they're letting Candace Parker walk. No way. I just don't see that happening. You don't let one of the greatest players the league's seen just walk or trade her. They're not going to trade her. I mean, she's a free agent, so she can sign.
What if Derek Fisher's actually a great coach? What if he's actually a coaching genius, and the only thing holding him back is Parker?
Then he has to do it in another city, because when does an organisation ever take the coach over the player? As unfortunate as that might be, as maybe wrong as that might be, there's no situation where you can see the Sparks or any other organisation saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to take the coach over this superstar player." And Candace Parker, it's a long time in the league, but look at the season she had last season. She's not slowing down. She's not. It's not. This isn't. Whilst it might be towards the end of her career, she's putting up stats. She's not, sitting on the bench playing a few minutes. She played all 40 minutes of that last knockout game against Connecticut, and she turned up. She turned up. Not maybe other people didn't, but she turned up.
So let's just play hypothetical. Let's just assume that one of them is in a different city. Who wins a WNBA title, first, Parker or Fisher?
Oh, Parker. Because say if she goes to Chicago, like some of these, ridiculous rumors, I don't like it. If she was in Chicago, you put Parker on a team, she's your X factor. She's winning you a title. Fisher, yes, he might be a great coach, and he's a great player. We've seen him. He's a good coach, isn't he? He's a good coach. There's obviously something last season that didn't quite gel between him and Parker. They said they'd sorted that out this season, and it looked like they had. Well, there was no benching in a playoff game, so
it's true.
I mean, it's Parker. She's goatee.
She's goatee. she's not the goat.
She's goatee.
What does that mean?
What? It's
what, she's like goat adjacent.
Yeah. But if you put her in Vegas, you put her in, put her in New York, put her on any team, she makes any team better. She makes any team instantly a contender. And if they can keep that core, if they can keep Necker and Chelsea Gray and Candace Parker together, which is going to be difficult, there's going to have to be pay cuts, pay freezes, slight pay cuts to do that. They're in the hunt next year. This is, they've got unfinished business 2 years in a row.
They're not in the hunt. Is Tia Cooper a free agent?
She is, yes.
They're not in the hunt.
They're in the hunt. They're in the hunt. Are you telling me Dallas are winning the title next year?
So that's. I'm glad you said that. Dallas are going to win a title before Los Angeles.
Before Los Angeles or before Candace Parker, even though she's not leaving.
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I'll bet you a pizza. I'll bet you a pizza.
Oof.
I'll bet you a calzone. I'll bet you a calzone pizza.
And I will enjoy eating that whilst we rewatch the Sparks win, and Candace Parker wins her second trophy.
Hang on, which is it? Is it Sparks or is it Candace Parker?
Because she's going to be on the Spark, so it's fine. It's one and the same.
No, I don't think so.
She's not leaving. She is not leaving.
She's on her way.
She's not leaving. She's not leaving. Did I tell you who might leave?
Who?
Brittany Griner. Take Cooper Maley. I think she will probably be offered. The way she played this season, she'll be getting some offers.
Where's
Brittany Snakes, I think.
Where's Matey Boy gone?
Who? Sorry.
Where did Dwight go?
Oh, Philly. So there's no. What's close to Philly?
Connecticut. Washington, Connecticut.
Yeah.
It's for a couple months a year. It's not a big deal. Okay.
I can see the thing is.
Yeah, Griner. So let's bring the tweet up. And we said about this at the end of the season. Griner should be gone, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's time for her to move on to a new destination. To be honest, she's great. She's undoubtedly great, but I want to see her somewhere different. What was it I said? I think I went Minnesota.
Yeah, and I really like that. You talked me into that. I think on our end of season roundup that we had. I think you're right. I think she just needs a different change of scenery. Yeah. And Phoenix, they'd got a nice little core going on towards the end of the season. Despite all the injuries.
Part of it?
No, unfortunately not. But sometimes that could be good. She could go into another situation and thrive.
Yeah. Oh, I don't see why not. Like again, she's got a lot of basketball ahead of her if she wants it, and I think Minnesota will be really good. Dangerfield.
Collier, and Sylvia
Griner.
Fowles and Griner. Like that's not a team you want to face. I mean, I don't know what their cap situation is, but
well, Collier and Dangerfield can't be costing them much because they're too.
No, they'll be on rookie contracts.
Yeah. All right. Who else is on this tweet? Cambage. I don't see it necessarily. Maybe.
I feel like it's more likely than Parker. I don't know.
Of course you do. Of course you think that. Calm yourself, Caz. Cambage, I can see they would need to. It would need to be, I assume, a trade. I don't remember what here.
She's a free agent. I think she's a free agent.
How is she a free agent? How have they allowed that to happen?
I think was she only signing 1 or 2 year deals?
Yeah, but she didn't play this season, so doesn't that roll on last season's contract? Oh, I don't know. If you're Las Vegas, you want to get something back for her.
Yeah.
You want to try and get a shooter, somebody who can actually shoot the basketball from outside of the paint, because that would really help them with a bit of a plan B. Who's the other person?
My only thing there with Cambage is look at Asia Wilson, MVP, absolute breakout season. Do you then add someone else into the mix that might take away some of her role? She might have to. How are they going to work that together? It was kind of Cambage's. Yeah.
No, her role would undoubtedly change. Like we saw it change this season. Like it was her team. She was the MVP. She was the best player in the league. I don't know how you square that particular circle. The last person, Kayla Mcbride.
So if Kayla Mcbride plays for Vegas this season, coming season, like she has been doing for Fenerbahce in Turkey, she's your 3-point shooter. She's your scorer. It just didn't. She wasn't.
Didn't happen in the bubble
there this season. But we were in the bubble. Things were different. Everything's different. But she is. She's having an amazing season in Turkey at the moment. So she could be a 3-point shooter. You obviously need some more. I think she stays in Vegas.
I don't see why the team move her on.
Yeah.
I don't see why the team move her on. I don't know her personal situation. Maybe she wants a fresh start because of how things went and maybe how the narrative was around her last season. Certainly down the stretch. It'll be interesting. I tell you what. the one thing that we don't really have in British basketball, because of the nature of British and European basketball, we don't have these conversations.
No.
And they are fun.
They are fun.
Like, we're not going to be there like, do you know what? I really think the Mystics, they need to trade, I don't know. What can they get for X, Y, Z player? And do you know what? I'm glad that we don't have those conversations. But in like the cartoon world of America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could cope with like talk of is Georgia Jones going to re-sign for the Mystics. I don't know if I'd like it.
Oh, I mean, to be fair, that is a conversation that we do have.
But could she be traded for Jasmine Joyner?
Well, yeah, that's the one. Wonderful. I think that does it for the season, for the Caz and Daz show. Episode 9, I think we're on. I think it's episode 9. That's what I wrote at the start. So we've been doing this a good long while.
Yeah. When the WNBA kicks off the end of July.
Yeah. It's been awesome. Right. And it continues to be awesome. We're going to be back next week at some point doing something. And it's going to be awesome. Keep an eye on our social media. We will let you know exactly what we're going to do.
And we have a fantastic video out of Darren's best interview question. What is your condiment of the year? So check that out.
Yeah, a bit of not a spoiler, but an inside look at the Paul Cantwell interview. Caz ran the show on that one. Caz was in control. And Caz very nearly didn't ask the most important question we ask here at FocusHoops. So,
see, it's a learning curve.
Yeah, it's a learning journey. All right. Fantasy draft is upcoming. Get involved. Chester Donnelly, if you're not involved in this, I don't even know what to say, to be honest. So we're going to have loads of details about that. We're going to get Greg involved. We're going to get Greg's little fantasy roundups if he's up for it. We've got a show next week of some description and variety. It might have a festive end of term flavour. And just keep an eye on all of our social media feeds, including Caz's own personal social media that she's going to share with us today. Again, really?
Hooping Kazzy V on Twitter.
Yes!
And CB3 Hoops on Instagram. Is that right?
I think so. I'm at Awade's Touch on Twitter, AUEDSTOUCH on Twitter for, basketball and Racing Club chat. We beat Boca Juniors last night, and it was absolutely beautiful. Yes. Chester says, I'll try. I'm an expert. Don't worry, Chester. You don't need to be an expert to enjoy fantasy basketball. You just need to look at some numbers and have a good time. Pick your favourite players. Do what you need to do, fam. All right. That's it. That's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, thank you to our sponsors, Notch, as always, for their amazing support. Support them like they support us. Get over there. Hey, what a great Christmas gift. We'll chat to you in the week.